Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirby Planet Robobot. In the last part, we got our mech and all of that jazz, and in this part, we're continuing with the first area, Patched Plains.
I love the names of the worlds. It's so
This is one of my favorite little gimmicks that they put into all of the different new games, where it's just like, what do they spell? What do they spell with the letters?
But they're, what do you call them?
They all spell something different. Like
what's the word for that? An anagram?
Yeah, they're an anagram. Because the first Return to Dreamland was crowned, and then Triple Deluxe is flower.
If you go all the way back, Adventure was Roy G. Biv, but
I forgot about that. Yeah, Roy G. Biv.
Mm-hmm. What?
That's the
rainbow palette.
Oh.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just saying nonsense for a second.
Isn't it backwards, though? Because the first area is Vegetable Valley. Oh,
yeah,
so
it was backwards. And then ended with Rainbow Resort.
So it's like the Bivro.
Orange Ocean, Yogurt Yard, Grape Garden.
This is a 3DS platformer, so we need to have that gimmick where the character's jumping back and forth between background and foreground.
Yeah.
That's great.
I like it in Kirby. Like, it always weirded me out that in Smash Wii U, they used the Donkey Kong stage for this, where in Donkey Kong Country, it really is just a graphical gimmick. Where in the Kirby games, they actually do use it for level design and, like, how do you get the battery from the front to the back and whatnot.
Yeah, I noticed that in the last stage where there was a treasure chest on one of the breakable log things, and you would lose the treasure chest, presumably, if you didn't. If you win.
Great Cave Offensive. Gotcha.
Yeah, every Kirby game does that same exact puzzle. Break the thing, the thing. Better not break that third thing, otherwise you lose your treasure chest.
If earlier games do that, Great Cave Offensive was the first time I was actively annoyed by it.
It's in, oh god.
I know. It started in Adventure. There's like the one room with the hammer, and there's 3 pegs. So we got it the first and the third.
Yeah, there's definitely that one. It's in
Dreamland 2 somewhere, but yeah.
Almost every game has it. Maybe not 64, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, 64 is the gotcha moments, or like every single shard that's just behind a checkerboarded thing.
It took me way too long to realize that the checkerboards are like, oh, that's the combination of powers you need to do that.
Are those Dragon Quest slimes who've gotten the Tanuki suit?
Oh, they have a name. I don't remember what their name is. I'm a fake Kirby fan.
I'll pull up the Kirby wiki.
I'm looking at them, and all I can think of is that they're Dragon Quest slimes who got the Tanuki suit.
You're supposed to look up the wiki in secret and then say it out loud.
I didn't say
you always knew the
We can cut
as
that.
if you always knew the answer.
We can cut that in post. It's fine.
We can't. Because we're talking about it
I'll
now.
just cut it out myself in the audio I send you, so it's just you guys making fun of me.
Okay, so
and then it's just like, what are we talking about? Anne always knew the name of that.
We have to take different things that you said earlier and splice them to form new sentences.
One of them is...
Oh, no.
One of them has 2 tails, and its tail's colored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Kirby is older than Sonic, I think. No, it's I think
no, Sonic's older.
No.
by
Kirby's
like a
92.
month or something, right?
But
like
yeah, because Dreamland 1 was 91, I think.
I thought it was 92.
91.
No, wait.
I'm the same age as Kirby, so I'm pretty sure I think that was 92.
Yeah, I think Dreamland was 92
so.
and Sonic is 91.
Oh, okay. I thought they were
Now
the same
I
year.
will look at the wiki.
We're just Kirby study hall now.
Yeah, basically.
How can you not know the
April
exact
of
date,
92.
year, and month that Kirby Dreamland for the Game Boy was released?
Wait, like, you say that, but it's like for franchises that I'm a bigger fan of, I do remember like the first game.
What was the
when it
day
was
that
released.
Sonic 3 was released in Japan, John?
Sonic 3 in Japan? Oh, see, I thought you were gonna say Sonic 1, but no, you threw a curveball at me.
Yeah. I thought you said
Sonic
that.
curveball.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I know what you're doing right now. You're stalling so that you can look up the release date on Wikipedia.
Kirby's Dream Land was in April of 1992. Actually, no. If I was looking it up, you would have heard because my keyboard's loud.
Oh yeah, you mechanical keyboard people need everybody to know that.
Mechanical
That's
people, that's
people.
racist, you motherfucker.
Yeah, because we're fighting.
It doesn't
We're
stop
fighting
with
the
you, apparently.
We're fighting the robot race right now, John. In this game, all right, robots are bad. That's what Kirby taught me. So
That's not true. You're writing a robot now.
yeah, but this is a good robot.
I am happy to inform you all that one yellow slime enemy's name is Chip.
Oh
And
yeah, that's right.
I dug into the deep recesses of my mind to come up with that
Totally.
answer.
I know that one. That's
Chip as in chocolate chip?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also a bigger version of Chip that we will see, and his name is Big Chip.
Yeah, it's Big Chip. I knew that one because all the big enemies are just...
You knew Big Chip, but you didn't know Smaller Chip's name
I
was
knew
Chip.
that he was big something. I didn't know if he was Big Chip.
Sonic 3's release date in Japan was May 27th.
Wow, John.
There you go.
I'm such a genius.
Okay, so this is one of the only things about Robobot that, like, really annoys me is that the Robobot doesn't get its own good boss fight. This is, like, the closest it gets.
Not until the very end.
No, not even at the very
Technically.
end. It's just
Technically.
this again. Or are you counting, like, the final boss?
The final boss. Yeah.
Because I don't really count that because that's the, like, traditional Kirby shooting section.
Yeah.
So I would have really liked if Kirby in the Robobot had more bosses like Kirby out of the bot had. Because this guy's lame.
I mean, I guess they consider this to be iconic. This thing was in Fighters 2. And I had forgotten this was a thing until Fighters 2.
This game is getting... I think this game turned 6 this year, which is also really weird to me. Because I remember seeing this game in, like, PAX East, being brand new. Which is also very strange. But, I mean, he's fine for an intro boss, I guess. It's just, you know, it's the world's easiest Sonic Rush dodging attacks. And then you just, like, Gurren Lagann his head, and then you win. I would have liked something that's as complex as some of the later
Well, it's
bosses
reverse
get.
Gatai, so.
Yeah, it's... Oh, wait, we're unscrewing him, which is the reverse of Gurren Lagann. I forgot. Sorry, I'm a fake anime fan. That's actually true. I don't really watch that much anime.
I don't either, to be
And then the
fair.
door shows up. That's great.
Yeah, so I would have... That's like one of the big things that I would have liked is that as good as the Robo armor is in this game, I still feel like they didn't use it to its full potential. Like, they could have done more with it, but I guess if they ever bring it
I had
back-
just figured, like, my metric for those gimmicks were just, like, the show pieces of it. That's why I liked the Hypernova, I think it was in Triple Deluxe, just because the cutscenes that it played out were cool.
Yeah.
And they kept doing different things with it, like pulling out the UI and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
As for, like, mechanical purposes, it's like, whatever. That's why the fact that there's anything in here. Like, when my favorite parts with the Robobot are later on when we get to the wheel and the plane, or the jet.
Oh, those are cool, yeah.
Like, those cool set pieces rather than
like,
mechanics.
which of
But
these-
mechanically, it's still fun, though.
So, like, which of these robot stickers is like the Kirby Robobot version of that painting you saw on old airplanes where there's a woman reclining?
Oh,
on the side of the airplane?
we get Adeline. If you get all of the code cubes, I think you get Susie, which is probably the closest one because she's like the robot waifu of the game.
So,
even
but
though
like,
she's a big jerk.
is there the obligatory sticker that is designed to look like a parody of that one?
I guess
There's a King Dedede one. There's a King
Yeah, I was
Dedede
gonna
one
say
that's
King
great.
Dedede. You probably take the pose of the girl.
I don't know if
laying on
people
his
would
stomach
want
and
to
just
watch
winking
that
at you.
though.
It's just his crouching animation from Smash Brothers.
Big is beautiful. Tim.
Not for King Dedede.
I mean,
I'm going to dispute that.
I mean, in the very next game, we got Swole DDD, so.
Yeah, Swole DDD is... I don't know how I feel about Swole DDD. I'll figure that out on my own time. I guess. But yeah, there's like one of these stages in every level too, where there's like this lab type thing.
Oh, Hell Room.
Oh, what? I never knew that, but I guess that makes sense. That's very much
Oh,
like
yeah, the Smash.
Oh,
Kirby's
Let's
Adventure.
see.
Kirby's confirmed for Smash.
Let's see. There's
I'm really
ball
happy
with
for him.
2 lines. That power seems really, really lame. So I think I'm gonna not take it.
You tease.
What does it do?
Why do you not like having a good time?
Now, Kirby will never be in Smash.
It turns you into basically Kirby from Smash Brothers.
Like your moveset is almost identical.
The best fucking power up in Amazing Mirror.
I think Smash is a pretty lame power-up, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, it's just the Smash moveset, but I would rather just dedicated abilities.
It's not so much. It's not so much like just because of the moveset. It's what that moveset comes with, because it's basically like 3 or 4 different power ups in one. Because you have stone, you have a hammer at all times with the side B, which is my favorite power up in Kirby. Period.
So I understand. I agree with you for Amazing Mirror. I don't think it's as useful in the newer games because the newer games are a lot better about giving you what you need near where you need it. Versus
Amazing
like,
Mirror also like shoehorned Master Hand in as a boss.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But Ted's getting into the reason why I love it so much because of its versatility for the Metroidvania-esque game. It's very viable.
An Amazing
as
Mirror,
a
yeah.
power-up. Yeah.
That's
Here, not
part
so
of the
much.
reason why I don't really like Amazing Mirror. If you go through one of the many one-way doors and you don't happen to have fire or whatever, you have to backtrack back to find fire,
that drove
and it's
me
like
insane.
it's like, you know, in the original Metroid where you had to choose between the wave beam and the ice beam. Imagine that, but every single power-up in the game was like that, and that's why Amazing Mirror is not my favorite.
Wasn't Amazing Mirror like not only you had to be in every room, you had to go through every single door? Right?
Oh god.
Wasn't it like that? It
For
wasn't just every
100%?
single room. Yeah.
I did not ever get 100%, so I could not
I think
tell
that's
you.
what that
Looking
was.
at these,
I remember that.
these laser obstacles, I'm thinking this would be really good for the 3DS's 3D mode.
Oh, this game does look great in the 3D. Like this
Well,
is this and Triple Deluxe, I think, are some of the best 3D games on the system.
What I'm saying is more like that's an obstacle that does become like functionally easier to to work your way around when you can see the lasers in 3D and judge the depth and angle of them, which is unusual for 2D platforming obstacles. But like those lasers come at such diagonal angles all the time that I like in 2D I'm having a hard time judging where Kirby should be going to avoid them.
It's not that bad when you're actually playing it, but I do agree. There was a section, I think, last part where they had all the Gordos in a specific arrangement, and it's
Yeah, I like
slightly
those.
easier to tell which ones are in the foreground and background if you have the 3DS's 3D on.
I think by this point they realized that the people who actually cared about the 3D were pretty minimal, so they just had to make sure you could see you can actually
because
play the game functionally without it.
The 2DS was already a thing at this point, wasn't it?
I believe
Probably.
it was 2016, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's already lost. Its quality has diminished since then. No, I said quality is not the right word, but its importance.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I like that it's there for if you did like playing in 3D, but it's not distracting in the way that some of the other games tried to make it. I mean, I was always, I think, part of the camp where I liked the 3D more than most people. I understand why some people didn't like it because it like made your eyes kind of melt if you used it for too long.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just always thought it was neat. You didn't even have to wear glasses like a nerd. You could just have 3D.
I liked the 3D effect. I didn't like how it limited my viewing angle. Because if you tilted the screen too far left or right or up and down, the whole picture got washed. And that's what
That's
I
the
didn't
thing about the 3DS, though, is because it's portable, you don't necessarily know ahead of time what angle is going to be optimal for your play experience.
And I'm speaking as someone whose idea of portable gaming is I'm going to play this on the bed.
That's me
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
or on the couch.
That's it.
Did you ever do the 3D on the new 3DS? Because it is actually substantially better about that.
Nah, because at that point I was already team no 3D. I didn't really care about it.
Yeah,
So
so
I don't know enough about the science of it, but it's definitely better. But there's still like a slight blur. I don't know if it's like my eyes are closer together than most normal people's, but even at full blast, there's like still a little after image blur. So even then, I'm not able to really enjoy it.
how I understand the science of it, the way that they give the larger like zone that your head can be in is that as you tilt the 3DS, since it has a gyroscope in it, it like senses, oh, the 3DS is slightly moved left, so it adjusts the angle sort of so that it's more in the right space. I don't know if I'm making sense there, but it uses the gyroscope as opposed to just having like the one sweet spot where you can look at it, and it uses the gyroscope to sense where it should move that sweet spot around. That's how I understand it works on the new 3DS, and it does work for the most part, so if you wanted to give it a shot, then I would say go for it. I played a lot of games in 3D, but for some of the games, it really, really, really tanks the performance if you put it in 3D. Because
I still think 3D Land is the only game that was like, you need 3D to get through a couple of these puzzle rooms. I couldn't think of
Or
many
at
other
least
3DS games
find
that
the
actually
star
used it.
coins, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because like the Gordo one earlier, definitely it's a cool effect in 3D, but you're still able to know what's happening in
Yeah.
2D.
Actually, speaking about that, Kirby Triple Deluxe is also a game that when you're playing it in 3D actually runs really, really smoothly, and Robobot runs a little bit worse if you put it in 3D. If you're playing it in 2D, it runs perfectly fine.
Oh, that's right. I do remember some performance issues on my original 3DS. Some of the Robobot sections. I feel like there was frame rate stuff. Maybe I was playing in 3D. I don't know.
I don't know if the performance for normal 3DS games changes if you're playing it on a new 3DS. I don't know the tech that well.
It does for some. I remember Hey Pikmin was like
Yeah, but
a game
that one's
pushed me
like-
to get a new 3DS.
But that one was like designed for the new 3DS, if that makes sense. Like I don't know.
No, that one wasn't.
Whether it's designed or not for the new 3DS specifically, it doesn't change the fact that the new 3DS had a better processor.
That is true.
It does the same thing as like a PS4 Pro. Like it just sort of
Yeah, basically
slightly
to a
like-
vanilla PS4.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, this is the best power up.
Oh,
Like,
Mirror
just-
Mirror
just
is
period-
great
just
in this
period.
game. Yeah, they like updated its moves from Superstar, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Out of every Kirby power up ever, this is the best one.
This is a pretty good one. I actually really like Ice in this game, and Ice is normally one of the throwaway power-ups for me because it's just fire but cold. This game added like a cool dash move to make Ice really cool. I think it changed its guard so that it has like the ice shield, so it's a perfect guard for a little bit. Also, yeah, there's a guard button in Kirby, which I always forget until I get to the very like last 3 bosses of the game.
Completely forgot that the guard was even a thing in Superstar until True Arena.
Yeah, because it's very, very useful. It cuts
is.
down
It
damage a
helped me
lot.
with,
You can like spot dodge and stuff like that.
What's his name? Galactonite?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, him. It's invaluable. Like, holy shit.
I
I'm
think
still-
I think when you're an archer and you shield, you go behind a bush or something. I think it's
Yeah,
archer.
there's a couple of characters where if you guard, there's a couple of power-ups where if you guard, you get a perfect guard and you won't take any damage. My favorite one of those is Leaf.
Yeah, but
but
those
I think
powers tend to be
Archer-
low. Leaf Archer, but those power-ups tend to be low on damage output, comparatively speaking.
Yeah, but they're
Very defensive playstyle.
Yeah, but they also tend to be faster too. So when I'm doing a lot of the bosses as Leaf, I'll just like do the uppercut move over and over again and pot shot until I win, pretty much. Which goes to show like my general play style, I guess.
That's what I'm saying, because you guys are talking about like your favorite power as like being Mirror or Ice, and I was like, man, I really am just a basic bitch Kirby player because my favorite's always the hammer.
At least it's not sword, John.
Hammer is strong.
At least you're not sword
The
because
hammer's just a better sword.
sword. The people who main sword are like the people who play Ryu or Fox. You know, they're just the world's most boring people. It's just like, what are you going to have for dinner, sir, at Shea Fancy Restaurant? Ah, yes, I'll have the plain pasta and a glass of water. Thank you. That's your standard Ryu main. I apologize to any Ryu mains, but not really.
So since
I
I
assume,
always
I
ask,
assume you're talking about regular Street
since
Fighter.
I
not
always
Smash
just
Brothers.
ask for a bacon cheeseburger at any restaurant I'm at, I guess that makes me a Ken main.
Yeah, pretty much. You're like the Ryu main, but you're fun to hang out with. Although I suppose if we're talking about in-universe, Ryu probably wouldn't be ordering anything at a restaurant, and if he was, Ken would be paying for it. So, you know.
Pretty much.
Well, Ryu wouldn't even be allowed. He doesn't wear any feet.
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't
no
wear any
shirt, no shoes, no
He
surface.
doesn't wear surface, exactly.
And he doesn't have either.
So, he doesn't, yeah.
Does a gi count as a shirt? Like,
I
comment,
guess
and
a
subscribe.
gi would count. I would argue it.
We just add all these restaurants on Twitter and ask them so we know.
Like, he has to rely on, like, the 3 restaurants on the entire planet where he saved someone by winning a fight for them completely by accident.
Or like the food stalls on the side of the road or something.
Yeah, mom and pop food trucks love Ryu because he's all over the place.
Yeah, well, they love Ken because Ken pays for Ryu.
How does Ryu get, like, food? Does he hunt or beg?
He well, I think you ever seen the Street Fighter 2 animated movie?
No.
He uses prize money that he gets from any tournament that he happens to come across as he's wandering the earth, and I guess that's what he uses to feed himself.
I just always assumed Ken and Sakura pay for him.
Now, if
Yeah,
only
but why?
if only the real world worked the way Street Fighter did, then
You
'Cause,
can
like,
beat up a couple of people for lunch money.
if you're
Wait.
gonna like legitimately prize fight in the real world, there are all these like regulations upon regulations, including how often you can fight within a short space of time, because that's
so
a
is-
safety concern.
Is Ryu a bully? Because he legitimately beats up people for lunch money.
In the Street Fighter
No,
universe,
he enters a tournament.
In the Street Fighter universe, they have this fantasy concept called the Street Fighter Circuit, where people can just get into fights that that affect their rankings on the street, which is why it's called Street Fighter. You encounter a fighter, you can just say, "Hey, let's fight," and you fight, and somehow people find out about it, and it affects your rankings.
They post they brag about it on Twitter.
Well,
hey, Mom, look at my tattoo of a fish.
The Street Fighter universe was ahead of the curve in that respect, because apparently they had social media before social media existed. But like, yeah, that's the general concept.
LOL just got cucked by T-Hawk.
But like, no actual fighting tournament in the universe would ever function the way Street Fighter tournaments function. So.
As someone who doesn't play Street Fighter, this was just mystifying to listen to because I don't know anything about Street Fighter. I know there's a green guy who gets angry.
That's the Avengers. That's the Avengers.
That's the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, damn! That's where I get confused.
Tekken's not much better. It's just whenever the Mishimas need to test some Devil Gene stuff, they throw a tournament.
Yeah.
Hey guys, look! It's a tree.
Well,
it's a
another
tree.
Like
Clanky Woods.
Wispy Woods is tired of our bullshit. This is like, wow.
In order to get the kind of fighting games that we like to play, to have a story that involves any sort of fighting tournament, you have to ignore the logic that fighting tournaments in the real world follow. Because, like, okay, you got a roster that's like half guys and half girls. Well, you're going to have all of these characters fighting in the same tournament, regardless of gender or weight class. That's not going to happen.
Doesn't Tekken have a bear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they add the bears,
They have
the
a bear
vampires, the
and a
international
kangaroo.
spies.
Kangaroos.
Pac-Man's in that one. He's like Pac-Man, little wooden dude.
Yeah, you listen. The fact that the Mishimas run an unethical tournament does not surprise me in the slightest, considering that they have God and the devil
not just
literally competing.
Not just unethical, but probably illegal.
Oh, they don't. Oh, that part, sure, that part's definitely true. But
That's
I don't
never
know.
stopped the Mishimas before.
Yeah, but you see, in Tekken 7, we learned, oh, Heihachi isn't such a bad guy because
Yes, he is.
his wife died, so he's tragic or
That
something.
doesn't make him better.
No, it doesn't, but the game certainly thinks it does.
I forgive you if you're throwing your son off the cliff.
Oh, no, it's okay, though, because he's actually the devil, so he's justified in throwing his son off the cliff.
Okay.
What the hell are you guys talking? That doesn't. This isn't real.
Wait. When Tekken 1...
Every time I play a fighting game, I'll just mash buttons
when
with the character
Tekken
I think
1
looks
was
the coolest.
originally written, that stupid plot point was a play on the myth that lions throw their cubs off cliffs to make them stronger or something.
Yeah. If it would have made Lion King a little different.
I mean, it's a complete myth. It doesn't actually happen in nature, but for some reason it's a well-known saying, particularly in Japan, I think.
We just beat up a tree.
Yeah, well, it was a robot
And
tree.
he was crying.
Yeah, he's crying oil.
He was crying oil.
Yeah, the poor tree.
Please do not step on my treads. It would not be wise.
Oh, God. Puyo Puyo Kirby's such a dick. We'll see you next time in Kirby Planet Robobot.